Steve Alley, 1023 ESPN and MMA Meltdown with our very special guest who will fight at UFC 157, Urijah Faber. Thank you for taking the time joining us. I know that you're extremely busy, and it's a real pleasure to have you on. How do you feel about your upcoming fight with Ivan Menjivar, and tell us what you've done maybe differently to train for this rematch with him?
I feel great, first off. I'm pretty hungry at this point, but that's part of the game. And for Menjivar, I haven't done too much to train differently. I do have a new head coach with Dwayne Ludwig who's brought in some really great, cool techniques that I've been soaking up. But, for me, it's about getting in great shape and continuing to improve as a fighter and just being ready for anything. And I think Menjivar is the type of guy who is super well-rounded, so you got to be prepared to go anywhere in this fight, and that's what I've done. Just basically done my homework on my wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and kickboxing.
Dwayne Ludwig is from Denver, and that's where we're at, and tell us what it's been like training with him. And really, when we heard that we would be doing this interview, we all said, hey, Faber's striking was good before, and it's going to be a lot better this time. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Dwayne's awesome, man. I've always been a big fan of his. His striking is so technical. And, I remember watching him when I first started in this sport, fight Genki Sudo in the UFC, and I'm just eager to learn from him, man. He's got a great attitude, and it's not just the striking. I mean, he knows mixed martial arts. He knows jiu-jitsu, he knows wrestling, he knows how to blend them together well. That's one of the reasons we pulled him in as a coach, and I'm looking to do some great things, man.
Urijah, you have a resume that is really top-notch. You'd really be considered, in my opinion, to have the resume of an MMA fighter of maybe the top 10 in all of mixed martial arts at the current time. Very popular, and you come back in, and as you made reference, you need this victory. You're hungry for the victory. But I have to ask you this, and I'm sure you've been asked before. What does it feel like to be fighting on the undercard of the historical fight card where two women will be the main event and not two men in what was previously a male-dominated sport?
It still is a male-dominated sport, and I'm sure it's going to stay that way for a long time, but it's pretty cool to be something, part of something that's new and cutting edge. Hopefully it works out for these girls. It's a big draw, and they put on a great fight, which most of the girls usually do. But, it doesn't bother me. Fight's a fight for me. I'm going to be in the cage. I'm going to be getting paid. I'm going to be having fun in there, and that's what this is about. And of course, I'm always trying to steal the show with a great performance, but I think it's neat to be a part of history.
How do you approach your upcoming fight, being that the first time around it ended by way of disqualification? Is there something you take from that prior fight? It was quite some time ago. What do you do differently this time, or is this business as usual with this fight like any other?
I say it's business as usual. Ivan and I have really changed a lot as fighters. He's a guy that has been well-rounded for a very long time since I've started watching him in the game. If I watch his first fights, he was good at wrestling, good at jiu-jitsu, really good at Muay Thai. I've really made some leaps and bounds over the years. I was always super tough and always in great shape and a great wrestler, and thought I was indestructible. And I think that's kind of my edge back in the day. Now I have that same mentality, but with a lot more technique. So I'm looking forward to fighting Menjivar again.
Do you size up opponents, Urijah? I mean, if you look at your resume, 26-6, and you fought literally everybody. I mean, if anyone said, hey, name the top fighter at this weight, you fought that individual. Do you look at fighters differently in your training plans and Is there anything really different how you approach each certain one? I know every fighter's a little bit different. You look at fight tape, you look at characteristics and tendencies of the opponent. Is there a way that you approach that, or is it just the same every time? Because not everybody is the same.
Oh, no, there's always adjustments that you make and things that you're looking out for. In general, you do want to focus on your offense and not necessarily worry about what the other guy is going to do to you. But you're aware of their game, you know, what their pace is like, things that they really like to do. You certainly take that into consideration when you're making game plans.
What is your long-range goal at this point in your career? You're in fight prime, I consider, 32, 33 years of age. Where do you go from here? I know you've got the big fight on Saturday with Ivan, but do you have a goal set up for yourself as where you see yourself maybe in a year, 2, 3, 5 years in the sport?
I'm just moving towards being a champion, and I've accomplished some cool things in this sport, and I want to accomplish more. You know, it's all about the big picture, which is my career as a whole, and getting that UFC strap is something that's definitely on the bucket list, and so I just got to move towards that direction and hopefully have some super fights along the way. You know, fights that people really care about. Whether that means moving up and down weight, I'm willing to do that for sure.
Our special guest right here on MMA Meltdown on 102.3 ESPN, Urijah Faber, one of the more popular fighters in all of mixed martial arts, and he's going to take on Ivan Menjivar at UFC 157. Hey, I know you're extremely busy. Could you tell everybody that will hear this what it's like leading up to the fight this week? I know that people such as myself and all media try to get you guys to do interviews and talk, and we greatly do appreciate it. What is it like leading up to the actual fight itself? Do you get nervous, maybe get antsy? Is there some ritual you go through just to keep yourself the same as you do other fights?
You know, the first fight, they always say, is getting on the scale. We're cutting weight the whole week, so that's kind of what you focus on at that point, and making sure that your body's healed up in addition to making that weight. I don't really feel like I'm stressing about the fight. You know, that's one of the things that I've earned over the years is peace of mind that I know I'm a competent and bad dude, so I can step into that cage and not have to worry about my health and you know, so that lets me relax a bit. I basically just enjoy a week with my team and eat some rabbit food and do a lot of training to make that weight.
How much will you be cutting to make weight on a Friday evening?
I got to LA about 13 pounds over, and I've dieted down from quite a bit heavier than that, so it's an ordeal. You end up doing a little under 20 pounds probably.
Has there ever been a fight, Urijah, that you haven't made weight?
No, I've never had a issue with my weight. Not since I was a wrestler have I ever missed weight. You know, I've been wrestling for 20 years and fighting now for 10, so I'm pretty good at the process at this point.
Will Bang be cornering for you? Is he going to make the trip up and be in your corner?
Yeah, Bang's next door in a room, probably sleeping right now. He's here along with Master Tong and Fabio Prado, and you know, it's going to be a good weekend.
Very good. Well, listen, really do appreciate the time. You know, and you mentioned getting ready for the fight. You always seem so loose and easygoing and everything, and many fans really appreciate that. I know that even here in Denver, I know of at least a couple dozen people that say, hey, that guy, that's my favorite fighter, and really wish you the best. Thanks for the time. Say hi to Bang from everybody in Denver, and much continued success to you, Urijah Faber.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys, and thank you to all the fans out there. I really appreciate it. You can check me out on Twitter at Urijah Faber. And sorry for stealing Bang, but we're treating him well out here. He's doing a great job.
Hey, that's great. Hey, take care, buddy, and good luck to you on Saturday.
Well, thank you very much.
This call has been recorded.